Hello, everyone, and a happy new moon to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me in this channel. So, let's dig into what we really have for today. This is a breaking news reaching us on Breaking News Nigeria today. Now, this is the first day of September 2025. I honestly thought we be saying that, oh, we'll be rejoicing, but fortunately, we woke up to a huge bombshell. Anyways, I'll still say happy new month to all of you. But here's the headline shaking the entire Southeast and the wider Nigerian community. Simon Ekpa has just been found guilty and sentenced to 6 years in prison by the Finnish authority. Simon Ekpa, the controversial Biafra agitator and self-acclaimed IPOB prime minister, has been convicted on multiple counts, including terrorism-related charges, public incitement to commit crimes with terrorist intent, tax invasion, and several other violations. Now, like I'm going to still be showing you guys some comments, what people have been saying about Simon Ekpa. Some people, I won't lie to you guys. Some people hate Simon Ekpa, while some people really love what he's doing. And I'll show you guys a video for everybody's point of view on Simon Ekpa's jail sentence. I'll be showing you guys what everybody are saying about it. Let's go on. According to report, the court verdict was delivered earlier today in Finland, where Ekpa has been based for years. He has been heading his Biafra movement through social media and remote oppression. These charges stem from his activities dating from August 2021 to November 2024. During this period, he was accused of inciting violence and promoting unrest in Nigerian Southeast through his broadcast. Fundraising and directive was issued online. In fact, during the investigation, the Finnish National Bureau of Investigation froze Simon Ekpa's financial assets as well as those of his close associates and linked companies. Remember, Simon Ekpa was first arrested on the 21st of November 2024 by the Finnish authorities. That arrest marked the beginning of a long, high-profile investigation into allegations that he was using social media platforms to incite terrorism and promote violence. Activities which, according to security experts, contributed to the heightened insecurity and unrest in Nigeria's southeast region. This development becomes even more significant when you consider the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, the founder and leader of IPOB, is still in detention in Nigeria under terrorism-related charges. Since Kanu's arrest, Simon Ekpa rose to take over the Biafra agitation struggle, keeping it afloat and leading to his own faction. But here's the reality. Ekpa's ideology and methods have been different from Kanu's approach. While Kanu once centralized IPOB under a unified leadership, Simon Ekpa broke away, adopting a harsher, more aggressive strategy. This division has created two IPOB factions, those loyal to Nnamdi Kanu and those following Simon Ekpa. And this split has caused friction, confusion, and according to critics, has weakened the Biafran war struggle. Simon Ekpa is a deeply, is a deeply popularized figure. He's so popular to some, especially his supporters. He's seen as a savior, a man determined to liberate the Igbo people and restore Biafra's independence. But to others, including many within the Igbo community itself, they said Simon Ekpa is the root cause of the escalating insecurity in the southeast. They accuse him of provoking federal government crackdown, drawing the military into civilian areas, turning the southeast into a theater of war. Now, critics argue that his approach has fueled chaos, divided IPOB and supporters, and worsened the region's insecurity. Now, for those of you out there, I don't know what side of the divide you're on, whether you're in Simon Ekpa or you're anti-Simon Ekpa, but here at Breaking News Nigeria, we report verified facts only, and the fact today is simple. Simon Ekpa has been sentenced to 6 years in prison. Personally, if you ask me, I would say this 6 years is a fair sentence given to someone with a serious nature of allegation and the impact his activities had been on national security. If you ask me, I would say the 6 years is fair because with this kind of allegations, the 6 years is really fair because from the things I know, someone with this kind of allegation, they don't even go for 24 years imprisonment or 14 years imprisonment. But it was really fair. They really happened today and everything. So sorry for the network issue. Let us now take a look at the proper context of what happened. So according to Sahara Reporters, just like I say, we don't give fake news here. Everything coming from here is fact and claims. So it says pro-Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa gets 6-year sentence in Finland for terrorism. Now let's go on. He said that according to prosecutors, he has been actively involved in a separatist movement seeking independence for southeastern Nigeria under the name Biafra. Now, the Paget Ham District Court in Finland has sentenced Simon Ekpa to 6 years in prison on terrorism charge. The BBC reports. According to the court decision, Ekpa was found guilty of inciting terrorism in Nigeria. Let's go on. He said he was also said to have promoted the independence of the Biafran region through illegal means between 2021 and 2024. Other accusations include aggravated tax fraud and violations of the Lawyers Act. In May, Sahara Reporters reported that the trial of Simon Ekpa over alleged terrorism commenced in Finland. Let's go on. It says he was accused of participating in a terrorist organization and publicly inciting crimes for terrorist purpose. It will be recalled that Finnish police investigated the case in collaboration with Nigerian authorities. Ekpa appeared before the Paget Ham District Court. According to prosecutors, he has been actively involved in a separatist movement seeking independence for southeastern Nigeria under the name Biafra. Let's go on because they have a lot of things they told us here. They said they allege that the activity conducted online and coordinated from Finland may constitute terrorism under Finnish law. Prosecutors demanded a 6-year prison sentence for Ekpa. We have a great deal of evidence regarding this individual's online activity and communication, said the state prosecutor, that's Samsa Hakala. At the pre-trial hearing, Ekpa's lawyer, Karul Gumrus, raised concerns about the reliability of information coming from Nigeria. Let's move on. Let's forge ahead. It says that Sahara Reporters reported that Finland's National Prosecution Authority charged Nigerian Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa with inciting terrorism online. The Prosecution Authority, in a statement, accused Ekpa, who is also a Finnish citizen, of public incitement to commit crimes with terrorist intent and participation in the activities of a terrorist group, according to AFP. The prosecutor said Ekpa, a self-acclaimed prime minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile, committed the offense in Lahti, a city in southern Finland, between 2021 and 2024. Let's further here. They said AFP reported that while Finnish authorities did not name the individual in the official statement, a Finnish public broadcaster, You, confirmed the suspect as Ekpa, a dual Finnish-Nigerian national who has drawn international attention for his outspoken campaign to establish an independent Biafra state in southeastern Nigeria. Ekpa was arrested and detained by Finnish police in November 2024. So let's go on. They say, according to the prosecution authority, he has remained in custody and denied all charges. The prosecution alleged that Ekpa's online activity incited acts of violence in Nigeria under the guise of pro-Biafran agitation. These charges stem from his prominent role in a faction of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, a separatist group proscribed as a terrorist organization in 2017 by the former President Muhammadu Buhari-led Nigerian government. So let's see this one. It said the IPOB has long pushed for the secession of the Igbo-dominated southeast region of Nigeria, which was the center of a brutal civil war from 1967 to 1970, resulting in over 1 million deaths. Finnish authorities also investigated potential financial support for Ekpa's activities. Following his arrest in 2024, police requested the detention of 4 individuals suspected of financing his oppression. However, the prosecution authority confirmed that the charges against those individuals had been dropped due to insufficient evidence. I'll be giving you guys what people's opinion based on Simon Ekpa. But this news is somehow, because first of all, this man is a popular man, right? So it's somehow. So I'm going to give you guys, updates on what people are really saying about Simon Ekpa. Let's just take a look at the first Twitter user. This is what he said. He said, Finland should get ready to reap what they sow, and today being 1st September 2025 marked the complete downfall of Finland, as Chukwu Okike Obiama is about to disgrace and destroy Finland and all the entire Europe, who are supporting the genocide killings going on in the land of Biafra. Now, let's take a look at another person's comments. Someone here said, let's make it clear again. Media houses calling Simon Ekpa an IPOB leader or kingpin should desist from tagging him as an IPOB member. Since the decision of Nnamdi Kanu, we have made it clear that this autopilot chef is not an IPOB member, talk less of being a leader. We've come across people saying that Simon Ekpa is not an IPOB member, that they should stop calling him an IPOB member. He even came out, there was a time they asked him what he does. He said he was a content creator, that he's not an IPOB member. That's what he said. He's not an IPOB member. So, they said that they said that people should desist from calling him an IPOB member. He was only there, to agitate for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and that was just it. They say people should desist from it, that they stop calling him an IPOB member. Let's go on to the next thing. That someone here said the indigenous people of Biafra, under the command of our unlawful detained leader Nnamdi Kanu, issues this urgent rebuttal to the false and malicious attempt by the Nigerian government and its compromised media collaborators to link the conviction of one Simon Ekpa in Finland to IPOB lawful activities. This is a brazen fraud against truth and justice. The world must know that the question of Simon Ekpa's non-membership in IPOB is already judicially settled in Finland. Like, people have been coming out to say that, why are they linking Simon Ekpa to what is going on? People have been saying, why are they linking Simon Ekpa to IPOB? That is not an IPOB member, that is a content creator. That's what people have been saying. That he's a content creator. So, like, they say that that he's not an IPOB member. So, what is really going on? What is really going on now? These guys say that people are now giving warnings, that saying Finland should get ready. You guys have seen it, right? Let's come from a Twitter. I said Finland should get ready to reap what they sow. And today, being 1st September 2025, mark the complete downfall of Finland. Because, just like I told you guys, some people may hate Simon Ekpa, while some people may like him. You get, some people may like him, some people may hate him. But the short thing here is that, for me, I feel that this man is giving a fair trial. Because imagine 6 years for this kind of allegations for terrorism and tax evasion, are giving him 6 years. There are some people that they do give 12 years. So I feel that Finland authority, favored him in this, aspect. They really favored him a lot. So guys, I would love you guys, to listen to, people have been saying that Nnamdi Kanu, the same thing, that Nnamdi Kanu, that they will soon, give him his own judgment. Many people have been coming and said that they will soon give Nnamdi Kanu his own judgment. That all they ask and pray for is that Nnamdi Kanu should just be released with no conditions. In fact, they said that they don't have any evidence against Nnamdi Kanu, so there's nothing like they should come and jail him. They should not jail him because Nnamdi Kanu has been through a lot. People are saying that they should just release him. I'll allow you guys, to hear from the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu. Please drop your comment below what you think about Simon Ekpa's, 6 years sentence to jail, and what you also think about Nnamdi Kanu. And I'll be right back. Take a look at what the lawyer said.
So today I'm wearing two hats. I'm speaking on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm also speaking on my own behalf. My name is Aloy Ejimako. I'm the special counsel to Nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra. And I'm speaking to you from a location in Nigeria. The man, Nnamdi Kanu, is well known. He's everywhere. He's on Wikipedia. He's an internationally acclaimed freedom fighter. But there's just a few things I need to tell you about him. What brought him to limelight was the formation of the indigenous people of Biafra in the United Kingdom in 2012. Simultaneously, he also founded Radio Biafra. And these two organizations were aimed at one thing: liberation for the people of Biafra, or restoration of the former Republic of Biafra that went defunct in 1970. The right to self-determination is a right that is guaranteed internationally, domestically, and continentally. It's within the black letters of Nigerian law at Article 20 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The right to self-determination is guaranteed. So the formation of IPOB did not break any law. Not laws of United Kingdom, not international law, not Nigerian law. But guess what? When Nnamdi Kanu, who was born in Nigeria, but who acquired British citizenship later on, came to Nigeria in October 2015, The government of President Muhammadu Buhari, which had come to power in May, decided to arrest him. He was not arrested between 2012 and 2015 because the government of the day at that time understood that self-determination is not a crime. But the government that came into power in 2015 in May decided that self-determination is going to be treated as a criminal activity. So he was arrested in Lagos. He was charged for treason, also for insulting the president and illegal importation of ready equipment. 3 charges. The treason one, they split it into 2, treason by himself and treason by conspiracy. This thing went on from 2015 until April 2017, when he was eventually granted bail. So he was detained for nearly 18 months. After granting him bail, he returned to his ancestral home in the southeastern part of Nigeria, and he was enjoying his bail when suddenly, between 10 September and 14 September 2017, the Nigerian army, without any justification whatsoever, levied lethal, massive military operations against Nnamdi Kanu's ancestral home. That day, he was sitting at home with so many people, his family members, including his 2 elderly parents. The attack was lightning, it was a bleakridge, it was massive, and it was not the type of an attack you will expect a national military force to levy on a civilian location. But they did. At the end of the day, 28 people lost their lives. Nnamdi Kanu sustained injuries. His parents sustained injuries as well. But somehow, by the grace of God, they all managed to escape. From there, the rest is history. And because there was a national and international manhunt for him by the security forces, which rules of engagement was to shoot, not to maim. If you see Nnamdi Kanu, if you encounter him anywhere, shoot not to maim. Not to maim, but shoot to kill. That's what they went there to do on 10 September, but they didn't succeed. But it went on. They went on in a manhunt. So Nnamdi Kanu was forced to flee the municipal boundaries of Nigeria in search of safe haven overseas. Eventually, in May 2021, he settled in Kenya. He entered Nairobi and settled in Kenya somewhere. He never knew that Nigerian security forces, the international branch of it, were laying in wait for him. They laid an ambush for him. So on 19th June 2021, he drove himself to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on a personal errand. As soon as he drove into the parking lot and alighted from his vehicle, several well-armed security men suspected to be of a mixture of Nigerian and Kenyan security forces swooped on him, grabbed him, abducted him, and put him forcibly in a vehicle and drove away. Well, they didn't take him to the police station. They didn't take him to immigration because he was a foreigner. He should have been taken to immigration. They didn't take him to any official law enforcement facility. They took him to a secret location in Nairobi, a non-official secret location. So in effect, they disappeared him. And they kept him at that secret location for a whole 8 days. And those 8 days he endured horrendous torture. All these are matters of record between the various tribunals and courts before whom this matter has been brought. I cannot begin to give you all the details. Horrendous torture in violation of basic human rights, in violation of the laws of Kenya, Nigeria, and the international community. When Nnamdi Kanu was abducted on 19th June 2021. The proper thing that should have been done is to take him to a police station, from there to a court. And then if you wanted him back in Nigeria, you subject him to what is called extradition proceedings. This is a basic tenet of the law that you see in the laws of any nation. Kenya has an extradition act to which Nnamdi Kanu should have been subjected. But guess what? They didn't do that. They rather disappeared him for 8 days, tortured him to their heart's content. And on 27th June, they secretly brought him out from this location and took him through the back doors, evading Kenyan immigration, direct to the tarmac of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Nairobi, where a private plane was waiting. They bundled him into the plane, chained him to the chair, and everything. He endured 5-6 hours flight from Nairobi to Kenya in the most excruciating circumstances. They arrived in Nigeria late in the evening, and the plane flew back to Nairobi. They took him to the headquarters of the National Intelligence Agency in Abuja, where he spent the first night with all the lights left on to assure his maximum discomfort. The following day, they transferred him to the headquarters of Directorate of State Security in Abuja. And on the third day, they brought him before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The Federal High Court was well aware that Nnamdi Kanu has counsel of record. It was an open case, it wasn't a new case, a pre-existing case. But the Federal High Court decided to conduct the arraignment in violation of his constitutional right to counsel, and that arraignment led to the indefinite detention with which we are struggling today. Anyways, taking you back a few steps, the little military invasion of 2017 was not unrequited, judicially speaking. I took the matter before two tribunals, or a tribunal and a court. First, I took it to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, which rendered a decision in March 2018 condemning the action and calling it a violation of the African Charter. And they wrote to the President of Nigeria, they wrote a letter to the President of Nigeria requesting him or directing him. They used diplomatic language, but the decision was there that what you did is wrong, so you need to roll it back. You need to reverse everything you have done, which includes declaration of IPOB as a terrorist organization and hounding their members as criminals. The African Commission held that what Nigerian government was doing was persecution, not prosecution. That the IPOB and its members simply possess an inconvenient political opinion which the Nigerian government was seeking to suppress by means of punishment of some sort. And they asked or directed Nigerian government to reverse itself. Nigerian government never did. Rather, it escalated. Well, subsequently, I went to a local court, a high court in Abia State in eastern Nigeria. I sued the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Nigerian Army, and other parties who were confederates in that attack of September 2017. And in January 2022, fortunately for us, we won. The High Court made an order. The High Court reached a judgment that what happened to Nnamdi Kanu in September 2017 was a flagrant violation of his constitutional right to life and constitutional right to his privacy. And the court proceeded to make an order ordering the federal government of Nigeria, or Federal Republic of Nigeria, to pay him a compensation of 1 billion Nigerian naira, which is over $1 million US. The court also ordered the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the President of Nigeria to issue a public apology to be published in 3 national Nigerian newspapers to Nnamdi Kanu. None of this has happened. So we kept that aside. So when they brought Nnamdi Kanu forcibly from Kenya without extradition proceedings, I characterized it an act of extraordinary rendition. Initially, there was a misunderstanding, a broad, widespread misunderstanding by vast majorities of Nigerians who were mouthing the cliche, Nnamdi Kanu extradited from Kenya. No, that was wrong. He wasn't. I told people he wasn't. He was extraordinarily renditioned or rendered, and that is against international law, Kenyan law, and laws of the Federation of Nigeria. So while his criminal trial was making its way slowly at Abuja, with all the several amendments the government was bringing, they walked away from treasonable felony, insulting the president, importation of radio equipment, and bam, to terrorism. That's how it happened. And they did this 7 times. 7 amendments. If Nnamdi Kanu was guilty, why is it taking so long to bring him to trial between 2015 and today? That is 8 years. So what he's undergoing is not really a judicial trial. It's a trial by ordeal. Trial by fire. Imprisonment before conviction. They just want to get as many years of jail time out of him as possible, because they know that with the evidence available, conviction will be impossible. And that was made worse by the extraordinary rendition, which I took also as a civil violation to a federal high court in Nigeria. And in October 2022, the Federal High Court came down with a judgment that extraordinary rendition was a violation of his constitutional rights, his fundamental rights, and they awarded him 500 million Nigerian naira. That's about $800,000. So all around, everywhere that this matter has gone to, including in July 2022, before the Human Rights Council at the United Nations. The Human Rights Council, United Nations, came down with an opinion that what happened to Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya and that brought him to Nigeria is a very grave violation of international law. And they directed that he should be released unconditionally. And of course, the Court of Appeal in Nigeria did come down with a similar judgment in same October 2022, discharging Nnamdi Kanu of all charges and bearing any further trial of his person in any court in Nigeria as a consequence, as a direct consequence of the extraordinary rendition. So what more can you ask for a man to deserve his freedom? How many have I counted? United Nations, which in this case should be considered a world court. Then you have the Nigerian Court of Appeal, which is the second highest court in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then you have the Federal High Court, which is the court of first instance at the federal level. And of course, you have the State High Court that awarded him 1 billion Nigerian naira. So between 2015 and today, 8 years and running, Nnamdi Kanu has snagged 4 major victories against the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with Federal Republic of Nigeria winning nothing. What more do you need as stark evidence, affirmative evidence that what is happening here, ladies and gentlemen, is an act of persecution, not prosecution? It's time to end it. On his behalf, I will ask all men and women of goodwill everywhere in the world to speak up, There was this saying about Jews. When they came for the Jew, you said nothing. When they came for the Jew, you said nothing because you're a trade unionist. Then when they came for the trade unionist, you said, well, I'm a scientist. You said nothing. They took the Jew, they took the trade unionist. And then when they came for the scientist, nobody spoke for you. Nnamdi Kanu is a poster boy for all the injustices that a great race, the Igbo people, and their cousins in the former eastern Nigeria have been subjected to since the founding of Nigeria. These injustices became more public because since 2015 they have been escalated. So how do you fight back? You fight back by telling the system, I want out. I want my own country is not a crime. It does not require a bullet. It doesn't require muscular military law enforcement. What it requires is sitting across the table and talking about it. A lot of nations have been founded on referendum. That's what Nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra were asking for. That led to all this conundrum, to all this saga.
When the president calmed down, the reason Nnamdi Kanu have a discussion with him. You have been having a discussion with bandits and the so-called repentant Boko Haram. Tell me the offense of Nnamdi Kanu, because he's agitating for self-determination, which is his own constitutional fundamental rights granted to him by the Constitution and the law.
Well, the government's angle is not because of the agitation, because they know that everyone has a right to agitate. But they said the way he was going about it, like and then people were being incited. Well, that's even not what I'm
what of the one the wife of the president incited people during the election? The wife of the president, he incited people that Igbo should go. What of the one of Lagos said that Igbo should go and fall into lagoon? What of those that came out and said that Igbos will not vote? If you are not voting for APC, you will not vote. What happened to them? Has anybody been arrested? That Nnamdi Kanu said something. Then you now term that thing he said as is a terrorist, is a crime of terrorism. You charge him for terrorism. His own lawful organization that is registered in almost all the whole countries in America and Europe and Asia, and you now came to Nigeria, you term it a terrorist organization. Now you are now saying that now that IPOB is being recognized in almost all the whole countries in America and Europe. So you are now saying that America, France, Germany, they are recognizing a terrorist organization because you don't want anybody to agitate. You want to suppress anybody. If you talk, kill him, suppress him, jail him. In a country that is predicated on constitutional governance, it cannot work like that.
Okay, let's get back to the ministerial nomination of Bianca Ojukwu, because you said he took away one from Anambra and brought in another. But remember that the president took away the minister based on the KPI results that came out, which he was not even the one, that did the evaluation. It was the result given to him with which he did that, meaning that if actually the minister had performed, above board in the KPI, they wouldn't have had any reason to remove her rather.
Now, still on that ministerial list, we have 48 of them, am I right? And we have 36 states in this country, including FCT 37. So, apart from Southeast, that have only 5, every other region have more than 6, apart from Southeast. Now, check since 1999, we have been having series of presidents. Let's use what is going on now. The president is from where? Vice is from where? Speaker is from where? Senate President is from where? CJN is from where? Court of Appeal President is from where? National Industrial Court President is from where? Chief Judge of Federal High Court is from where? And they are saying that the people of Southeast belongs to this country.
Are you sure you're not? I mean, it's just like what I said too. I mean, isn't it time we started to be less sentimental about this diversity?
We have to apply it now. We are saying that the only people that are qualified to hold all this position, nobody from South is qualified. On what basis?
Are you saying that
but the chief of naval staff is from the Southeast?
Huh?
The chief of naval staff?
From where? I'm talking about the key position.
So
number 1 person, number 2 person, number 3 person, number 4 person, number 5 person. The key position, we have 3 arms of government: the executive, the judiciary, and the parliament. You can never see anybody from Southeast there. Now, the point we are talking about is that when I'm not even talking about, I'm in court about lopsided appointments.
Okay.
I can avail that my process because I did an intensive research in that process. File it, asking court to view whether this particular appointment, whether this particular governance is in line with Federal Character Establishment Act, an act of National Assembly that said that you should carry everybody along. Section 14 of the Constitution also said that you should carry everybody along. And we are not doing all these things. You are telling me that, yes, now that you have removed Kennedy Handele and you are now brought in Jan Kojuku, that the people of Southeast will jubilate. Are you talking to idiots? Look at the people that you are talking about. Check, let me start with the source. In football, the people that have made Nigeria proud are the people of Southeast. In commerce, in aviation industry, name it. In academics, they are from people of Southeast. But when it comes to power, they are not qualified. And we want them to be happy. Listen, let me tell you, like today that is Monday, go to Southeast. And my annoyance is that these things are avoidable for Christ's sake. They won at Nnamdi. The reason and the Kanu, let us start addressing this issue. This early morning, somebody sent me a clip, something they posted, that they said from, I think they said next week, or the next 2 weeks, that there will be nothing like federal courts in the whole of Southeast. What do I mean by federal courts? Federal courts, National Industrial Court is a federal court. Federal High Court is a federal court. Court of Appeal is a federal court. Now, the people the judges that are there, most of them are not Igbos. Majority of them are not Igbos. How should you risk somebody to go and preside in the Court of Appeal over the judicial division, Oka Judicial Division, Enugu Judicial Division? How can you appoint somebody to go and preside in Federal High Court in the Southeast, National Industrial Court in the Southeast? And we are not even thinking about all this. And the judges are not even thinking about, So the point we are talking about is that when there is a problem, look for a solution. Personally, somebody like us, we're not even, I'm defending Nnamdi Kanu, one of his lawyers. So when they say so you people are not doing what you're supposed to do, the person that is calling you, don't even know him. He's using a hidden number to call you. You don't even know what they're talking about. The only thing that we went to court and we were unable to bring Nnamdi Kanu out. They're not even safe.
Okay, Maxwell, let me ask you this, because from what you're saying, I've also heard IPOB many times deny, allegations of being involved in some of the killings that happen in the Southeast and some of the, the ills that we see in the society. Even the sit-at-home in question, IPOB has also claimed that he has not asked anybody to sit at home. I don't know, get my point. So the point I'm making is that from what you're saying, it would look as if what you're actually trying to say is that it's because Nnamdi is being held, that is why, the ills in the society in the Southeast has escalated. Does it have anything to do with him? That is what you're saying?
Do you know why? Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB is his initiative. He established it, he organized it. Now, when you now kidnapped him or abducted him, and unlawfully, because the Supreme Court have said that he was unlawfully brought into this country, and you kept him incommunicado, everybody on his own. This one we kill, you said at IPOB. This one we maim, he said at IPOB. Everybody on his own. That's why I asked you the question, who is IPOB? The IPOB is Nnamdi Kanu. So Nnamdi Kanu, if Nnamdi Kanu is out, you will know who is who. Simon Ekpa will talk his own, Emma Powerful will talk his own, this one will talk his own, this one. Who is IPOB? That you are even talking. Simon Ekpa is in Finland. Emma Powerful, I don't know where he's operating from. Another person is operating from somewhere. Issuing threats. Just like the one somebody told me. I don't even know where that one is coming from. So the easiest way to do is the one that you know. Nnamdi Kanu. Then tell Attorney General, as he discontinue the charges against the president of Mieti Allah Kato, discontinue that of Showore, they are all terrorism. Tell them to discontinue that of Nnamdi Kanu and allow Nnamdi Kanu to agitate. It is his right. I told you the other day.
You see, that's where the problem is, really. The guarantee, that there will not be problems, even if Nnamdi Kanu is, because you're saying allow him to agitate, and he goes about it the way he used to, like, the government have actually feared. That may also create more problems, don't you think?
Let me tell you, there are some things that you asked me the other day whether they are talking about condition giving Nnamdi Kanu. I told you one question. I say, if you give Nnamdi Kanu condition that he feel after meeting up that condition, he will still live like a human being, so be it. But when you give him condition and you are removing that made him a human being, he will tell you no. What is that made you a human being? That thing that makes you a human being is your ability to exercise your fundamental rights. And when somebody said, now I'm going to employ you here, I'll be paying you $500,000 every month, but you will not talk. You will not move out. He said, do away with your job. When somebody said, I'm going to release you, but I'll cut one of their hands. Say no. The agitation for self-determination is a fundamental right. And if you people fail to understand it, I can agitate that I need the Republic of Maxwell. Yeah. It is my right. Anybody can agitate. I don't even need people, crowd to follow me. It is when you now feel that you have gotten the necessary distance, the necessary need the necessary qualities, then so be it. It is now left for the president who believe in democracy, who believe in government of the people by the people, to apply an initiative. What is the initiative? Release the person. Start addressing all those issues that gave rise to this agitation. It has been there. Uwazirike was agitating during Obasanjo. A lot of people were agitating. So now that you have arrested, you come down Uwazirike that time. Nnamdi Kanu came up. Now that you have arrested Nnamdi Kanu, someone is there. I think this data from Ned Nwoko was telling you that even if you arrest Simon Ekpa today, another Simon Ekpa will come out. So the issue there is that address all those issues.
Right. So for you, it's not about ministerial appointment.
No.
So guys, you guys have seen what the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu, his lawyer, you guys heard what he said. Now, these are, what people are saying about Simon Ekpa's trial. Now, looking on the screen, you can see that someone is saying Finland should get ready to reap what they sow. And today, being 1st September 2025, marked the complete downfall of Finland, as Chukwu Okuke Obiama is about to disgrace and destroy Finland and all the entire Europe, who is supporting the genocide killings going on in the land of Biafra. These are people's, opinion of Simon Ekpa's, the fact that they have jailed him to 6 years. These are people's opinion. People are really angry. Just like I always tell you guys, some people like Simon Ekpa and some people don't like him. Some people don't like him. But for me, I would say that it's a fair, the fact that they gave him 6 years is a fair sentence to someone that they accused of terrorism and tax invasion. It's really a fair, Finland really pitied him, because some people will give him 12 years. Some people will give him 12 years. Now, let's take a look at another person's comment here from Twitter. This person is saying, let's make it clear again. Media houses calling Simon Ekpa an IPOB leader or kingpin should desist from tagging him as an IPOB member. Since the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu, we have made it clear that this autopilot chief is not an IPOB member, talk less of being a leader. We've been hearing different cases of Simon Ekpa not being an IPOB member. They say that he's only agitating for Nnamdi Kanu, because ever since Nnamdi Kanu was, arrested, that he has been the one carrying out the flow of IPOB. So people are saying that he's not an IPOB member. He's just someone who agitates for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Even there was even a time they asked him in court, in Finland court, they told him what if he's really an IPOB member. He said no, that he's a content creator. Now look at what this person said here in his comment. He said that let's make it clear again to all media houses that are calling Simon Ekpa an IPOB leader or kingpin, they should desist from tagging him as an IPOB member. That since the edition of Nnamdi Kanu, that they have made it clear that this person, that Simon Ekpa, is not an IPOB member, talk less of even being a leader. It's such a pity that such a thing is happening. That because people are expecting that this case is going to maybe they're not going to jail Simon Ekpa because he's in Finland, but unfortunately they found him guilty and they gave him a 6-year sentence in Finland for terrorism and tax evasion. Like, it's a pity, guys. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts below. Tell me what you guys really think about this by dropping your comment below. And also, if you're coming across my channel for the first time, please do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications to be getting all the latest news in this channel. So when we drop new videos or concerning Nnamdi Kanu, any other political news, so guys, or anything that is happening in Nigeria in general. So guys, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like and share this video. And don't forget that Nnamdi Kanu will be coming to court on October 10th, 2025. Let's be hearing what his lawyers, Justice Jason Motosho, will have to say based on Nnamdi Kanu. And I'll be giving you guys latest updates concerning Nnamdi Kanu and everything
that's going to be happening in court that day. So guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys again in my next live section.